Alright guys, welcome back to another episode here on the Dividend Doggo Show on YouTube. I am bringing you in for a weekly update. I'm taking you in to look at the all-time gains because it's looking absolutely amazing. This week was pretty wild. You're going to see there's definitely some stocks that were up. Obviously, the portfolio has gained a pretty massive number, and I only did a relatively small buy for my investment journey. So this is the week ending, what was it, the 11th? Yeah, the 11th of June. 2021, this year is already half over. I'm absolutely amazed at what the markets are doing. I shouldn't be too surprised by it because of all the money influx into the market. But here we go. So let's take a look. You can see that this is all time, and all of a sudden utilities are green by $3,500. Yeah, the main week gains, if you go into the weekly view, we can see that healthcare was up for the week. Utilities was up phenomenally, all the way back up over my cost basis on VST. I'll jump into that in just a moment. Consumer was down just slightly. This is not even something to really blink about. Como Money was down just slightly. Nothing big. Finance, though, and industrials, finance got hit about 3% for all three of the banks, almost 4% for JPM across the board. I do want to level these out a little bit once I get done with some other positions that I want to buy and build up. I do want to get some more money into Bank of OZK, and I want to kind of even these out a little bit more and bring them closer to par. Like, I'd like to get Bank of America and OZK up to about 30K each, so that ultimately once this pie is about 100,000, they're relatively balanced at about 33% or so each. So I will be rebalancing the targets on this as I go. I had a main focus on getting JPM built up at the beginning of this year, but overall, week to week, there's a lot of fluctuations, but industrial was also down just a bit across the board. Caterpillar was down despite announcing phenomenal dividend growth. This is one of those stocks that I feel like I should have been more bullish on last year. If you look on the 1 year, this is up near 111% for me, and that's including this week's depression. Just 1 quarter, it's still in the green just barely, but when you go out to 1 year, 86%. And then I've obviously held this stock for over a year, so it's pretty wild to see these numbers all the way around. I didn't dive too deeply into what was going on with finance and industrial this week, but that was what was down in my pie. Everything else is just kind of up just barely or up a couple percent. A lot of fluctuation there. But then I'm going to bring you into the Whopper here. VST was up 7% this week. The market gains were absolutely phenomenal. The dividends coming into the pie, I get like $9. I think that's from NEE. But overall, VST is now, you can see this position is back up over its cost basis. It was 1842 for me. I had lowered this. It was originally around 19 when I started buying it. So when it had its big dip in the end of February going into March, I was consistently buying to build this position up. I wanted to get it to about 2,000 shares. As you can see, it's at 6,063 because nobody really expected a 30% dip. It was like 29%, I think, at its peak of the drop. That's not right. The lowest of the drop. It was down from its all-time highs up in the like $24, $25 range. And, it is what it is. A lot of the people that I know that went into the stock got it at a near 3.7 yield. and I'm really hoping that they stick to their dividend raise plan. If they do, then this dividend raise is going to be absolutely phenomenal going into 2022. Overall, I think that the worst is in the past for this stock. Its free cash flow is impacted for this year, but I think it'll be back on target and be back to doing share buybacks and reinvesting in the business next year, as well as giving shareholders a beautiful dividend. I'm absolutely loving that the stock is back up. Everybody gets worried when they make purchases and they immediately go down. I knew that the stock was going to be going down a significant chunk for quite a while. So holding on to it for a few months while it's in the red really doesn't bother me. This is a long-term buy and hold investment into the transition into greener energy away from coal. And I'm going to be really curious to see how these guys do. They have an amazing amazing management staff with Curtis Morgan at the helm. It's absolutely phenomenal to me. I think that they'll do a great job going in the forward, and they'll provide shareholders with phenomenal returns, both through capital appreciation, dividends, and I think that the share buyback plan will be really solid going forward. I know that they want to do it. The free cash flow from the winter storm, devastation, rocked a lot of people's lives in Texas, and I think it'll build back up relatively quickly. I did not expect it to pop back up this high. I figure this will probably dip back down a little bit, but I'm really happy to see it up there this week. So I do want to bring you into one more thing, and that was what were my weekly buys. I did have some dividends roll in. Chevron was one of them. So I wanted to go ahead and roll that money back with a little bit extra to kind of build out these positions just a little bit more than normal. I haven't been putting a lot of money toward oil stocks, but this really isn't that much in my portfolio. I do want to build these up a little bit. Phillips 66 and Chevron. This was just a pie buy. What I mean by that is it literally was just a buy into the energy pie. You can see this is what I hold in that pie. Phillips 66 and Chevron were both down a little bit this week. VLO was also down a little bit. I will likely end up just continuing to buy the whole pie until these are averaged out a little bit higher. I wouldn't mind picking up another 5,000 to 6,000 in VLO, maybe putting a couple grand into Chevron and S&P and PSX, which is Phillips 66, to even these positions out and bring them up to their weighted values that I have set here. I do actually like the weighted values on these, so I will probably leave it the way that it is currently. Obviously, EPD is very overweight for this. It's gone up drastically. This was originally only a $10,000 purchase, and it's gone up, if you look at all time, it's up $6,617. So I do want to flow some of the dividends and the money that's coming in from these stocks, because these are relatively high yield positions, back into this pie and get these evened out a little bit more and get a little bit more money across the board in these stocks. As far as that goes, that was the week this week. You can see that we're nearing all-time highs for this portfolio at $597,784.70. It's absolutely phenomenal to be seeing the growth, just even if looking at a weekly basis. Like, I only put in $697, so about $700 between dividends and cash deposits this week, but we ended up growing almost $8,000 due to market gains. And that's just the way that these types of portfolios work. Some weeks are going to have large market gains, some weeks you're going to have red ones, but as long as you're consistent with putting money in, you're going to consistently be getting dividends. You're going to be rolling that snowball forward, and as long as you're reinvesting it, it's always going to keep compounding until you're ready to draw that money out. So I do want to say thank you to everyone who has liked, commented, subscribed to my videos. And if you have any questions for me, leave them down in the comments below. I will be kind of on a little vacation next week. I will have a video that is going to be set and scheduled to go up on Friday, but I will be out of town briefly. I'm going to look at rental property in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I am going to visit some family there and hopefully relax at a hotel for a little bit and enjoy the pool. It's going to be really hot in Vegas next week. So thank you very much for watching. As always, I do want to mention one more thing. I will leave the referral code for M1 Finance in the portfolio below. Through the end of this month, they are offering you $30 for signing up with that referral code. I will also get $30, which will go straight into the portfolio. And if you do use that code, drop me a comment below and let me know. I know a bunch of people have used it because I've got, I think, 8 referrals since the beginning of this this channel, and I'm absolutely blown away that people are using that. I do greatly appreciate it. It's a really good way to get your portfolio and your dividend journey started. I do like a lot of the features that M1 Finance has, and being able to invest just $100 and getting $30 to add to your investment right off the bat sets you up for a lot of success for the future. Thank you very much for watching. As always, Dividend Doggo out.